The family next door, the chilling Watts murder case. It was a quiet summer morning on August 13, 2018, in Frederick, Colorado, a peaceful town where nothing ever seemed to go wrong. Rows of neat houses, trimmed lawns, and friendly neighbors. But behind one of those doors, something unimaginably dark had unfolded. Shannon Watts, a 34-year-old mother of two, pregnant with her third child, had just returned home from a business trip in Arizona. She stepped out of the taxi at 1:48 a.m., waved goodnight to her friend, and unlocked the front door of her home. It was the last time anyone saw her alive. When Shannon's friend, Nicole Atkinson, didn't hear from her the next morning, she knew something wasn't right. Shannon wasn't the type to miss a doctor's appointment, especially not one involving her unborn baby. And when calls and texts went unanswered, Nicole drove to the Watts house. The door was locked, Shannon's car was in the garage, her shoes were at the entrance, but there was no sign of her, or her daughters, Bella and Celeste. By that afternoon, the police were involved. Body cam footage shows officers searching the house with growing concern. Nothing was broken. No signs of forced entry. But something felt wrong. The husband, Chris Watts, appeared cooperative, but distant. Cold. Too calm. Chris told officers he had last seen Shannon early that morning. He claimed they had an emotional conversation about separating, and that she left with the kids. But her purse was still there. Her phone. Her medication. Things a pregnant mother wouldn't leave behind. In a matter of hours, what seemed like a missing persons case turned into a full-blown nightmare. Behind Chris Watts' calm demeanor was something monstrous. The hidden darkness. Chris Watts wasn't just a father. He wasn't just a husband. He was a man hiding an affair with a co-worker. A man who had grown tired of the life he had built with Shannon. And instead of walking away, he chose the unthinkable. On the morning of August 13th, after Shannon came home, Chris confronted her. He told her he wanted a divorce. But it didn't stop there. In his own words delivered coldly during later interrogations, he snapped. But that's a word too simple for what he did. He strangled Shannon in their bedroom. Their daughters, Bella, 4, and Celeste, 3, were just down the hall. When Shannon stopped breathing, he wrapped her body in a sheet and dragged it down the stairs. That's when Bella walked in. "Is Mommy okay?" she asked. Chris didn't answer. He put Shannon's body in the back of his truck. Then, he strapped Bella and Celeste into the back seats. Alive. He drove for over 45 minutes to a remote oil site owned by his company. The girls rode in silence right beside their mother's body. And then, one by one, he ended their lives too. Bella fought back. She begged for her life. She screamed, "Daddy, no," as he smothered her. She had bruises on her arms. She died knowing what was happening. Celeste, his baby, was next. Her blanket was found shoved into the tank with her body. He stuffed each of their tiny bodies into oil tanks. The openings were only 8 inches wide. Then, he buried Shannon in a shallow grave nearby. Chris returned home and tried to act normal. He gave interviews on TV, pleading for his family's return. He faked tears. He lied to the world. But the truth was already chasing him. Polygraphs. Surveillance footage. Phone records. GPS data. Slowly, the walls closed in. The final blow came when Chris failed a polygraph test and was confronted by detectives. In a chilling interview, he confessed, but only partially. He tried to blame Shannon, claiming she killed the children. No one believed him. Days later, he finally admitted it all. In horrifying detail. Chris was arrested and charged with 5 counts of first-degree murder, 1 for each family member, and an additional count for Shannon's unborn son, Nico. He was sentenced to 5 life terms without the possibility of parole. The case shocked the nation, not just because of its brutality, but because of its setting. This wasn't a gangland killing. It wasn't a serial killer. It was a father, a man who tucked his children in at night, a man whose family posted smiling photos just days before. The horror lived behind white picket fences and a clean facade. What made it more terrifying was how ordinary Chris Watts seemed. He was quiet, polite, never raised suspicion. He didn't look like a killer. But evil doesn't always wear a mask. The autopsies revealed the girls were alive for hours after Shannan's murder. Bella had bitten her tongue. She had fought to breathe, to survive. Her last words were a desperate cry to the father who was supposed to protect her. This was not a crime of passion. It was horror with intention. Behind every smiling photo, there can be a world of secrets. The Watts case is a chilling reminder that sometimes the most horrifying monsters are the ones closest to home. He didn't snap. He made a choice. A choice to silence a woman who loved him. A choice to murder two innocent children who trusted him. And he wore normal clothes. Drove to work. Smiled for cameras. Evil doesn't always look like a killer. Sometimes, it looks like the man next door.